everyone. So today I decided to make a Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 video. So since this is going to be my last Garden Warfare video for some time and potentially my last video for a few months, I felt the best way to close it off for now was to make a tier list on what I think are the best and worst characters of Garden Warfare 2. This might seem a little bit early since I've only done a few episodes, but I think I've played this game for long enough. I have over 1,000 hours on this game, and in that time, this is what I've concluded are the best and worst characters. So, I'm not going to go over every character in this game. I'm only going to go over the ones that I feel like need explaining. But before we do that, I want to go over this real quick. They don't have characters, because I don't own any of these three characters, so I think it's best that I don't rank them instead of just pretending. But yeah, I just want to get that out of the way. So let's begin at the top. So the best character in the game for me is Toxic Brains. This might seem a bit controversial because I've never seen Toxic Brains being considered the best character in the game, although maybe it's because I play Turf a lot, where it's very easy to get Toxic Overload. Even still, he's very good, he does good damage, he's a legendary character with a Toxic at the same time. He's a superhero, which is one of the best classes in the game. And overall, I think he's worthy of being the best character in the game. Party Corn, Scuba Soldier, Arctic Trooper, and Corn I think are pretty self-explanatory. Same goes for Foot Soldier. These characters are all just really solid, and because they're soldier classes and their abilities are really good. Computer Scientist, and again, another legendary character. And a Scientist, which also really helps. Stuffy, very good. Commando Corn, not as good as these two, but definitely a very solid character. And for the trade-off, you get full Commando. This one might be a little controversial. Electric P over Agent P. I personally feel like the Splash is better than Agent P's faster fire rate. But that's just me personally. Captain Cannon doesn't have any crazy mechanics. He's like just skill-based and is really good. Marine Biologist, same as Computer Scientist. He's just better stock scientist with the faster fire rate, and also he can actually his range is Vampire Flower, ever since they gave her more health, they give all the Sunflowers more health, I think she definitely deserves to be up here. Toxic P, I was considering, I had to really decide on whether he should be in top tier or not. He's not as good as these two, but he's still pretty annoying, so I'd say he's good enough to go in here. Necros, this is one that I feel like might be a bit overrated. I personally am not that great with her, and that's part of the reason why I think she's not as good as all the others. But when you get the Jinx, she definitely deserves it. And also, I think Toxic Iron Citron's a bit overrated. He's definitely a top tier character, but without Iron Mode, it's just kind of, all the health is nice, but still. He's basically just a better tank commander, and there's nothing wrong with that. S tier. Now, the first thing you might see is stock Sunflower this high, and yes, I am serious on that. I really do think she is very underrated. Her damage is really good, and she excels at all ranges. She's kind of like a soldier in some instances, but with more ammo, and I think because of that, she can go this high. Plasma P is one that I hear saying really good. I think he's really good. I don't think he's top tier, but he's definitely a solid character. Camo Ranger, I almost want to put in S tier, in top tier, but I don't think If he was more like a regular soldier, then he probably would have been. But I still really enjoy playing him. Druid Rose is another one, kind of like Necros, where is not that great. Well, for me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Rose. Definitely not a bad class, but it's not one that I personally like playing, and I feel like I have a hard time getting kills. But still, it's a toxic character, and Druid Rose is definitely solid. A tier, these are all really good characters. I'm not going to go over every single one of them. Super Commando, very solid. Scientist can two-shot most characters. Astronaut, very good. Basically just a scientist commando corn. Mob Cobb is just a worse Colonel Corn. Scallywag Imp is very good. Yeah. The two Roses, very good. Chemist and Zoologist, basically the same character. A lot of the imps are here. Bandit Cactus is just a soldier with cactus abilities. Mechanic is an engineer with a soldier gun. Petrified Cactus isn't as high as the other two detonation characters because I don't personally feel like her detonation isn't as good as the other ones, but still very solid. B tier, these are all really good characters. Tank Commander might be pretty controversial, but I feel like if you're really good with him, you can make him work. So I think that's good enough. Hover Goat, one of the best support characters. Sky Trooper might be a bit higher. I feel like his damage and ammo aren't really are not as good as regular soldier. Future Cactus, very solid charge character. Popscorn is decent, but the way he fires is not as good as the other ones. Zen Cactus are very good with extra damage with each shot. And yes, I have Barbecue Corn all the way over here. Because I still feel like it's still a corn, so a fire corn, despite all of his nerfs, I still think he's really good. And we can go here. C tier, these are all just mid characters. Torchwood is overrated. If he didn't have Blazing Blast and Leaf Shield, I definitely would have put him higher. Sunpharaoh, I feel like might be a bit overhated, or at least one that isn't really talked about. I like her ability. I don't love it though, but it's still I think she's a decent character. General Supremo would have been better if he didn't shoot like an all-star. And I have a lot of all-stars here. Don't really have much to say about all-stars really. I don't have a lot to say about cactuses either. And this is where Hot Rod Chomper comes in. The highest any Chomper is going to be. Even Twilight Chomper, I don't believe, is better than Hot Rod. Archaeologist and Dr. Toxic are just okay, but they have one glaring weakness that holds them back. And Archaeologist is just, he doesn't have anything special about him. He's a worse paleontologist, and Dr. Toxic really suffers from lack of ammo. These two Roses are just solid. Count Chocula, not as good as Hot Rod, but I think his gimmick, especially paired with Vampweed, is enough to put him this high. Alien Flower, I think, is another one that's a bit overhated. Again, this might be me because I play Turf a lot, and she's really good in Turf. I don't know. I still feel like she doesn't deserve the hate that she gets. She's definitely not as bad as any of these characters. And I would say she's better than Mystic Flower, who is one of the worst charge character in terms of the plants. As much as I want to put Camo Cactus in here, I have to admit that when you're good with Camo Cactus, you can really... She has a lot of potential, but she's not on the tier of like Camo Ranger, or even Painter, I would argue, is better. I don't really have a lot to say about any of the cacti. I put Jade Cactus higher than the other metal characters because I think she's pretty solid with her gimmick, but overall, the metal characters just aren't really that good. Rhodey Z is just an engineer as a chomper, which is not good at all. And Breakfast Brains is just a joke as a superhero. If he was like a cactus, then he would be a lot lower. D tier, all of these characters I think are bad. Toxic Citron, just the way he shoots is just not good, and he doesn't do enough damage to compensate it. Yeti Chomper is a bit higher just because he actually has range, but it is so awkward to aim with this character. Metal Pedal and Rock P, I feel, are pretty I don't like the metal characters all that much. And then we get into a lot of the chompers. I put the regular chompers higher than the spray ones just because they do more damage, and the spray chompers just really aren't that good. I put Armor Chomper as the third worst just because he's so slow. Yes, he has more health, but that does not help with how bad he is. And then Centurion and Captain Squawk. Centurion is just really bad, and Captain Squawks is just a worse camo cactus that doesn't do as much damage, and his flamethrower really isn't that good. It doesn't do enough damage to help. And the only thing keeping him out of the tier is that he does toxic damage, but other than that, he sucks. And finally, at the bottom, we have these two. We have Electric Citron and Cosmic Brains. Two charge characters that whose their classes really don't need charging. Electric Citron, the way you shoot with him is just so bad. Like, he does not need to be a charge character. And Cosmic Brains, the superhero class doesn't need a charge character, and the way you do it with Cosmic Brains is really not that good. And yeah, I think I've said everything I have about this video. I apologize that the audio is really bad, but that's all I've got for you guys today. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.